Welcome back to Florida Man Garage, where today in this episode we will put some lipstick on a pig by taking out this 400,000 mile LS 5.3 out of the Tahoe frame, and we clean it up, put some new gaskets in it, give it a coat of paint, and it's ready to go back in the frame once it's cleaned up and painted. And continue unplugging stuff. I'm gonna try to pull off this exhaust manifold. Fine. Don't really care about this thing anymore. Bottom one's stripped out, so I'm just gonna cut this off. Not using this anyway. Jeez. Disconnect the starter. It's already missing a couple bolts over here. Like, are these things necessary? Lord. I think it's time to start pulling off some of these accessories, starting with this AC compressor. Couldn't imagine getting this out with it actually in the car, because those bottom two bolts are not easy to get to. Here's what I had to do to get the clutch fan off. Clamped it down here, clamped it here, had a vice grip back here, and then I just kind of got that wrench on here and just smacked it one good time and it came off. So now that I got that off, I'm going to get some of these accessories off the front here. Gonna switch gears real quick here and get the rest of this body harness off of here. Work on getting these fuel lines disconnected, and then I can pull off the intake manifold. Gonna take off a few vacuum lines and then unbolt the intake manifold. gotta clean up some of this before it gets in the engine. I'm just trying to clean up this section right now so I can tape this off so I can pressure wash it at a later point. Alright, today I'm going to clean up this old piece of shit. So this is really caked up on here. Look at that. I think a lot of this is from the power steering line that was like botched back together, because a lot of this stuff is, I mean, I think it just looks worse than it is. If we clean this up pretty good, I think it will look pretty good. So I'm going to take off these motor mounts, this motor mount and this AC bracket, and then we can get our first kind of good look at that broken dipstick tube. So I think there's still a little bit stuck in there, so I'm going to try to get that out. If I can't get it now, I'll get it when I take the oil pan off. Definitely going to be a little bit of work, but I think we can do it. Couple more before shots here. Good spraying with some Simply Green. Gonna pull off this oil pan, see what's going on under there, and also maybe we can get out that broken dipstick tube. So it has some build up here. It doesn't look horrible for 400,000 miles. Just gonna pull off this stuff too and see what it looks like under there. Looks pretty decent in there. Considering the mileage, I think it looks pretty good, so I'm just going to clean up the gasket area while we wait on our new gasket to come in and just kind of put this all back together. I'm gonna try to tap out this old broken dipstick tube. I'll just tap this out, so now we'll be able to install that new one when it's time to do so. I'm just gonna drill out these rivets so I can get this old oil pan gasket off, and then I'm gonna clean up all this stuff here. They come off really easy using a 5/32 drill bit. Take out this little baffle neck. Super windy and sprinkling out, but I'm gonna clean up all this stuff. I'm just gonna pressure wash it, soak it down, scrape it out, whatever. Might not show all that if it starts raining on the camera. Definitely have some sludge in here, but it's too bad for how many miles are on it. Next up on our list is to remove the harmonic balancer. I'm gonna try to get this bolt out and then get the puller on it. Alright, it seems like it's on there pretty good. I had to use a socket as a little extension here. Now that we got the harmonic balancer off, get this timing cover off. Guess we can pull this oil pump off also. This chain definitely has a lot of slack in it, so I'm glad that we are changing this. See how much slack that has? Need to clean up some of this other stuff. Clean up this timing cover for the Chevy and this harmonic balancer. All right, I'm gonna try to get this engine onto this engine hoist so I can get the flex plate off of it and work on the backside of the engine. So I need to get it off of this stand, flip it over. It only has 3 bolts holding it in right now, which I don't like. All right, I need to flip it back over, which I don't know how hard that's gonna be. Oh, it's pretty heavy. Ah, fuck. How am I supposed to flip this fuck thing back over? So very slowly left, and then if I tell you to stop, turn it right.
Are you videoing? Hello?
Okay, because this is gonna let tension off of that as I'm trying to spin this, okay? So
Okay, let me get a practice run.
I don't want you to do it till I'm ready.
It's on there, right?
Okay, so now just very, very slowly.
You can't even do it.
Okay, slowly.
I'm not even spinning it.
Spin it a little bit. Okay, it's good.
More?
All right, you can tighten it now.
To the right?
Yeah, yep, that's pretty much it.
Bye.
Got this nice lift plate, so I'm going to take off this valley pan, put on this lift plate, support it here, take off the engine stand, then take off the flex plate, see where we go from there. Oh, this is totally just caked with crap. Got new knock sensors, but I'm going to need a new harness too. Look at this. Don't think that knock sensor is working. This one looks a lot better. That one's bad. It's so rusted. I'm just going to leave some of this in here for a second. That's what it looks like currently. Hopefully that will come out. Just won't grip on that. I don't know how I'm going to get that out. It's just like a complete circle. I guess I'm going to try to hit it with a chisel, is what some people recommend doing. Today, I would like to just get this engine completely back together, replace all the seals, the oil pan gasket, timing chain, oil pump, all that stuff. Just get it all back together so we don't have to worry about this anymore. So I'm going to start with this rear main seal. I'm going to take off this cover because I have the rear main seal cover as well. We'll probably have to clean this up a little bit. This is just one of those times where I wish I would have just bought the new cover with the seal already in it, and I could just clean this up, smack it back on there. But now I have to clean up this old cover. It's just gonna be a pain. We'll get through it. Here's what the cover looks like now. Take this gasket off. So I'm just gonna clean this up, replace that seal, put it back on. And I think that's it really. I mean, nothing else we can really do on the backside of the engine, so I'll probably put it back on the engine stand. Got this cover cleaned up a little bit. Got the new seal here. Gonna tap out this old seal. I'm just gonna try to pry it out here from the front. Jeez, this thing isn't budging. Another reason is just buy the one with the cover already in there. Try this method where you screw here. I don't know, this is so annoying. All right, I got it out. I just kind of got mad at it and hit it really hard, popped out. So I'm just gonna use some silicone spray here. Try to find something that's that shape. All right, I found this Bondo lid that's pretty close. Piece of wood here. Let's buy the cover with the seal already in it. What a pain, waste of time. Clean up this engine. I think that is good enough. All right, we're gonna put this rear cover back on. Took a lot longer than it should have, but it's done now. Time to move on to the timing chain, the cam retainer plate, and then it's just the front cover. Don't think I have the right cam retainer plate. Double check. I found it and it does look correct, so that's good. Yeah, this gasket's basically not even there anymore. Completely flat. Just gonna clean this up real quick. Put on our new one here. I gotta find the torque settings for this. That's good enough. It's 18 foot-pounds. I think that's good enough. I'll go ahead and put the timing set on. I'm not going to change this bottom sprocket. It's just too much right now. We're already spending a lot of time on this 400,000 mile engine. Clean that up a little bit. Doesn't look damaged or worn. Just going to leave it alone. And I did soak the chain in oil for a while. Seems to have just as much slack as the other one. Torque these down. And try and knock this front seal out. Okay, so I'm clean up a little bit, some Scotch-Brite. Try and get this new one in. That went in pretty easily. Time to put the front cover back on. Just gonna leave it loose for now because I think we're gonna have to move it around a little bit while we put on that harmonic balancer and line it up with the oil pan. I think the next thing we have to do is figure out how to get that broken knock sensor out that we were messing with yesterday. I'll go ahead and take this off again. Hopefully we can get this valley cover off. Now I gotta clean out all this crap that might have gotten a little bit of sand and stuff in there at some point. And try a couple times more with the chisel. That thing is just so rusted out in there. Oh, here, let's do it like this then. I mean, look at that knock sensor. Try to grab it with some vice grips. Okay. I don't even know if we should run knock sensors. I'm gonna pull the valve covers off now. Just gonna clean up these valve covers real quick, pressure wash them a little bit. Well, that wasn't a lot of fun, but we got this side cleaned up pretty good. I'm gonna do the same thing I'm gonna tape this side off first, then do the same thing to the other side. Well, forgot to put the oil pump in, so would probably be a good idea to do that. I'm gonna pull off this front cover. With any luck today, we can pretty much get everything bolted back together, tape everything off, and then paint the engine. Go ahead and prime this oil pump a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. These are getting torqued to 18 foot-pounds. Putting this timing chain cover on for hopefully the last time. Just want to wipe this gasket. Okay, we can still move that because the next step is putting on that harmonic balancer so we can align the seal properly here. I'm gonna try to put this harmonic balancer back on now. A little bit of oil on the seal here and on the balancer. So I got this tool here. It comes with this long rod and a bearing and some washers. Just trying to think on what's going to be the best way to do this. So I think this bearing goes in here. I don't really know actually. I think it goes like this. You have this nut, washer, bearing, washer, and then that kind of threads in. Let's see if this works. Okay, I think that's on there pretty good. Seemed to work out pretty nicely. I'll torque this down at a different time. Just want to make sure that was good. Now I'm going to try to rotate the engine because I think the majority of the rest of our work is from the bottom side. This engine stand is, I mean, I guess you get what you pay for, but it's so hard to turn this engine. Like, it's easy to turn it this way, but it's so hard to get it back the other way. Trying to do it slow, but it's just going to be too heavy for me. Once it gets to a certain point, it's just way too heavy to hold. Okay, that wasn't horrible. Next, we want to make sure these covers are flush. Just going to torque these down to 18 foot-pounds. front cover is installed into it. Next, we're going to put that oil baffle back in. All right, we're going to put our new O-ring on the oil pickup tube, put the pickup tube back in, and then this windage tray, get that all torqued down. Well, I bought this nice little girdle that's supposed to go around this, hold it down using both bolt holes, but see if I can show this. You can't even get full access to this bolt. It's really hard to see, but half that bolt hole is being blocked by that, so we're just gonna have to return this and go with the OEM stuff. Just gonna torque this one down first, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and snug all these down. Okay, time to torque all these down. Just gonna put this little baffle back in the oil pan and put the oil pan on. Just gonna put a little bit of RTV on the sections here that connect, and then you're gonna put the new gasket on, new oil pan, or oil pan gasket. Put the old oil pan back on. I think that's good. $18 foot-pounds for these. Just gonna put this old oil filter on just as a, so I don't have to tape it off when we paint. Gonna go find this gasket in the set and replace that real quick. All right, got this new gasket. Just gonna clean these bolts up real quick. I also got a plug for that oil level sensor, since we're not going to be using that. I got this all taped up. I used little foam ear things for all these little bolt holes. Taped everything off. This took quite a long time actually. Tape off and cut around all this stuff, and also use that method where you bang it with a hammer on the sharp edges. So got it all taped up as good as I think I need to get it. Don't think I missed anything really. Hope not. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a coat of primer on it. We're going with corporate blue. Out of paint. I think that barely covered it though.